Alright guys, so today I'm going to remove this tire. We're going to build I guess you could call it a collar for the brake disc to bolt to and to pin it through the axle. I picked this side because that side, the axle's a little bit more messed up, so it has a lot of wear on that side. Not sure why. So I picked this side to do. Yeah, and a little axle stand. So what I'd like to do is to trim this down so that I have more room in here. So I'd have more room in here to get a longer piece on here, because this is nice and straight, flush. And if I trim this back, then I'm going to have more room, and then all I have to do is put a bolt straight through. Then there'll be no play in it this way. The disc won't be, like rotor won't be rubbing on the pad, so I think I'm going to do it that way. Which means I might have to remove the rubber, stick this thing in the lathe and trim it off nice and straight. So normally I would just use a cutting knife and just cut it off, but unfortunately I couldn't get it in there, so we're just going to take it off layer by layer. Hey guys, 50% of my views on YouTube are non-subscribers, so if you're one of those, please consider subscribing and liking my content. Thank you. Alright, so now that we turn this down some, got to use my lathe for the first time, we will see what we got. Tire definitely sure is a little wobbly. That's okay, once we tighten this up, it should snug it down. Definitely have a little bit more room to work with there, so that's good. So now we got a bit more room, so we will cut a piece that is just a little bit longer than that, and then we'll turn it up on the lathe. So we'll start out by facing it and then we'll drill it out. So what I'm putting in now is this center drill, which gives you a more true center to start out with. So now I'm putting an internal boring bar. This is how you get a very exact inside diameter to make it fit very snug. After about 5 passes, it fits very snug and with minimal wobble. So now we trim it to the exact length of the end of the axle and the tire. So I'm going to take this back a bit more to maybe about here, so that I have a little bit more to put the pin through, and then it's not quite so thick for tapping. Alright guys, new day. I got this all drilled and tapped and mounted on. So today we're going to be drilling through here and putting in a bolt through the shaft, and then we'll be going from there. Oh, and I also had to cut the corners off these to make it fit over the axle here, so. Alright, so we got our hole drilled through, and we're going to just use, for now, we're just going to use a roll pin. Flush on the other side. And yes, I was going to try and drill all the way through with that size, but the shaft is a little hard, so I decided to go with a roll pin instead. I do believe that should hold. I'm not seeing it twisting because of the fact that this is so solid on here already, and that there's not any play, so it's not like it's working it into it. I just don't see the roll pin snapping. If it does, just put a new one in. Alright, so that's that. Now I guess we just have to connect the rotor. There's not the rotor, the caliper. So next I'm going to be steeling. I will be steeling this plate here, which bolts directly on here, and I'll be steeling, well, it goes this way. Be steeling it to weld on the back here to where this is going to sit. So now we're just going to bolt it back on here and see if we have to add any underneath. It might be too short, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's going to be too short because of the fact that it was on a much larger diameter pipe. As you can see, there's a space in there, so we have to fill it up with something. Maybe you'll weld a piece to the back side of that and then carve it out with the grinder until she fits good. Alright, so we got a piece welded on the back here. We are going to Do a little cutout on it just till she fits. So now I gotta find some little shims to put on either side to get this all lined up 100% so that we don't have any rub, and then we can weld it into place.